Hey everyone, this is the journey management portion of LoadTracks. So let's go into the app and look for journey management here, which you'll find at the lower portion of the home screen. Journey management is something that you have to require. It's mandated every 24 hours. It's recommended that you submit this per trip, or if conditions change from your previous journey management entry. What this allows us to do, and what it allows you to do, is it creates a two-way communication channel with clear information between yourself, dispatch, and management, and even other drivers, that outlines your given journey and some conditions that may present some problems for yourself or some of your colleagues out on the road. So as we start, it asks for your date. Today is the 28th, so just toggle your entries until you actually see a date hard stamped here. Sometimes it does take a little bit, but there you see that the entry is now in. Our trip origination, let's just say we're starting out in Blackfalds from our shop, and our destination for this trip is going to be Fox Creek. We travel there quite a bit, so we'll use that as an example. Our coordinator name, so let's just say Adam Smith is our wonderful dispatcher today, so we'll put his name in. And our departure time is going to be, we're going to start this trip at 7:30 in the morning. We're nice and fresh for this one. And our unit number, 666. Estimated trip time to Fox Creek is roughly 4 hours, so we can put that in there confidently, knowing that will be the case. And one thing to note, within every 24-hour period, you're going to get a request to do journey management. You have to do it. It won't allow you to enter a ticket that's been dispatched to you unless you do it. So our minimum mandatory is 1 per 24 hours. But again, I stress that if any conditions change from your previous trip, or you're starting a new trip and you want to enter this, please submit a journey management and start that feedback loop between yourself, dispatch, and management, and your colleagues out there on the road. So we'll go through some of these questions. You'll see that each one scores differently. In the upper box, you'll see 5 for first, 3 for second, 1 for third. However, there are some entries that have a higher scaling system, and it goes anywhere between 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 15. Depending on the entry. So in this first one, assistance. Do we need help? Are we alone? Let's just assume that we're going with other drivers, but you're in a single vehicle in a convoy. So you can see how that gives you a score of 5. For this part, communication. We know there's full coverage throughout the entire trip. Cellular, two-way, satellite, the whole deal. Dispatch can see you by GPS, so we're confident with that. The vehicle, let's assume for this trip that it's one that's assigned and you're quite comfortable with it. You can say that you're familiar with one, you've driven it a couple times, and you can see how that changes your score. Cargo on this trip, I'll be carrying no dangerous goods. This isn't a dangerous goods haul. Road conditions, we know there's divided highways from here to there. Route, I'm traveling to a location which I am very, very familiar, somewhat familiar, or completely unfamiliar. I think most people have been to or through Fox Creek, so we'll say very. Wildlife. Here it says unlikely that I should encounter any wildlife. Well, we live in Alberta. We know what's out there, and we know someone or even ourselves who have struck a large animal. So at the very least, we're saying that it's possible but not certain that we may encounter large animals. Our distance to travel, this will be over 300 kilometers. So you can see here's one that actually bumps up your score to 10 based on the longer trip. Visibility, we'll say that we're in daylight hours, but in Alberta in the wintertime, you're always traveling partial night / day travel, especially at 7:30 in the morning. It's going to be a little bit dark. So we'll put that there. Fatigue management, number 10. This is a big one for journey management. I have to stress that if you end up selecting this one up in the top, your trip needs to be considered entirely, regardless of any of the other entries you have here. But it is a conversation that you can make or have with dispatch. If you do enter that top one, seriously consider not traveling. But most of us are probably in this mid-range. It's been about 10 hours since I last slept. But in this case, 7:30 in the morning, we're fresh. We just got to the shop, did our pre-trip. Life's good. We slept 3 hours ago. Let's roll. Vehicle condition meets all inspection requirements. That's great. Fair condition, minor defects. That's acceptable as well. Could be something that allows you to keep rolling. So let's just assume that that's the case. Poor condition does not pass pre-trip inspection. We know the circumstances there. You probably shouldn't be traveling. So let's get that dealt with before we go anywhere. So let's just say we're in fair condition with some minor defects, but we're good to roll. And for the last one, weather conditions. Throughout the trip, I expect to encounter clear and dry. If we go to adverse conditions, including rain, snow, ice, or fog, you can see that it bumps your score up considerably here. There's always a possibility of mild weather, but let's just say we're clear and dry, and you can see that we have a total score of 35. I press save. It loads, and you'll see that it's successfully been saved. And what that means is it's been pushed on the server to dispatch or management. If the score is too high, if the score exceeds, I believe, 59, then it has to, your trip requires managerial approval or a discussion between dispatch and management to authorize that trip. And that concludes our journey management portion.